Yo, this is Mrs. Z and Fifth with your host, the Fifth General, and Zaccheus. Today, our brother, Cinemascapes, is on with us. And we asked our brother to join this episode because we are going to pay tribute to the loss of Kobe Bryant and Gigi and the rest of the people who died in the helicopter crash in Calabasas. And we're gonna do this as best as we can. This is a special episode. I mean, this obviously was not something we wanted to talk about. Me and Zaccheus was gonna open up the canon on. Never mind. That's y'all find out next episode. But we was gonna address a hip hop issue with a particular rapper, and we're just gonna wait. That's gonna wait. Cinema.
Yeah.
Zaccheus, start us off for today. One of y'all can go first.
Oh yes.
Go ahead.
Let me begin. This is Zaccheus. Zaccheus. Let me begin with saying that this was definitely a shock.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a shock. And it was definitely something that hit home for a lot of us, for all of us, for a lot of us. Majority of us were basketball fans out there, and also people that's not even basketball fans that hit home because Kobe. You don't even have to watch about basketball to know the NBA to know who Kobe Bryant is. You know, That's so much impact that Kobe had on the world. You know, so it's just it was a shocker to hear that, and I also wanted to reflect on the other lives that were lost too. We also like to reflect on that. We give condolences to those who lost their life on the flight with Kobe and his daughter. You know, but that is be on your mind for days and weeks because Kobe he had a promise even after his retirement. He had a lot of ventures and plans he wanted to accomplish. And I know his daughter was in the future for college basketball and then WNBA in the future.
Yeah.
So Gigi, and my heart sunk when I heard the news Sunday, this past Sunday. It really sunk. And I couldn't even, it was from the time I went to bed, it was on my mind. That how did this happen? That when I woke up and I wanted to say that I wanted it to be a hoax. I wanted it to be like something that just thought it happened, but it really didn't happen. You know, so it hit home for a lot of us, man. And my gosh, man, boy, man, Kobe, I remember since 1996. Yeah, that's so far back. I've been watching him play, going way back then. You know, so it's like losing we lost a great one. That's what we did. Yeah. We lost a superstar. We lost a great one that also had a lot to give and a lot to give the world, a lot to share even after his retirement. Just like Jordan have a lot to share even after his retirement, had a whole lot. Magic Johnson, the same thing. These men, they impact. Not only didn't stop at the NBA, they continued their journey, meaning that they had other ventures to help the world, to impact the world with businesses, ventures. I know Kobe Bryant, he left the legacy of Mamba, that league, Mamba League. So it's a lot. And then he also I was nominated for an animated series, Dare Basketball, which I remember when he was nominated for that. And it's like, wow, he didn't know he was in venture out into different avenues and impacting the world with that. But I also have to mention the Grammys, and I really admired Alicia Keys when she came out during the 62nd Grammy. Yeah, she came out and she just reflected on Kobe, and then during the course of the Grammys, they reflected on him some more when they put up Nipsey Hussle and Kobe. I really thought that was a real great effort on their part to reflect on the brother, So I really appreciate that a lot. Cinema, I know you have a lot to say about a little bit to say about a lot, but just, share about the Grammys and everything like that because
the Grammys when Aerosmith and Run DMC were performing, they had Kobe's jersey up. Lil Nas X when he did the Old Town Road with BTS and the new remix that he started with the Kobe jersey in the room with him. It was just all sorts of Kobe. Kobe's 2 numbers were lit up during the night, and Alicia acknowledging that we're in the house that Kobe built. That and then Boyz II Men coming out singing "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye." A lot of that stuff was had to be last minute because it happened that day, and it was the Grammys are the Grammys are the Grammys with other stuff, but basically the tributes to Kobe were nice.
It was nice, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, just to look at it, and just see what they done is in that last moment, in that minute, because it was scheduled to come out tonight, but nobody, we don't know the time and hour. Nobody knew that tragic would have hit like that. No one knew that shoot. I was like, Kobe, and then it's just, and then you hear the other lives that were on the flight too, which really was sad. The whole family losing the mom and dad, and then losing other lives on that flight that was lost. So, man, it's just something to reflect on, man, and just say that, man, we just gotta love our loved ones and appreciate them and embrace them. But yeah, man, it's just it's good that everybody, even on social media, they put the respect on Kobe and also on the other lives that were lost on that flight that Sunday, and we still continuing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're still posting things on Kobe and the other folks that lost their lives, So we still doing it. We still putting up things, man, because it's a tragedy. What a way to begin the year, It's just, oh man, it's just loved ones mean so much. Sometimes you gotta spend time with your loved ones and embrace your loved ones, man. We don't know the time, day, and hour. We don't know, So, but so I just really want to commemorate what they done on the Grammys and what they done in other areas too when it comes to entertainment, So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cinema, give your thoughts.
First, I thought it was a hoax
till
I saw TMZ, and then people like, oh, maybe somebody hacked TMZ, and it's like when you see TMZ, you're like, oh God, real talk. Because remember, how when they said Michael Jackson, everybody's like, yeah, right, and then it was like true. So when you see TMZ break something, it was like, oh man,
Mm.
A freak accident. It's like, in fact, what was 11 o'clock, around, what was it, 9:30 their time, 10 or 11? So it's like I was in church when it happened, so I didn't see it. So after I finished church, then I saw the news, and I'm like, what? I was totally in shock. It's like, Chris Broussard was saying this Monday. Basketball players don't die young right after they retire in their prime. We still have Bill Russell walking around.
Yeah.
We still have Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah.
Right.
Jerry West.
Wilton and them were old when they died, This doesn't usually happen in the basketball community. We still have Shaq, who's older than Kobe. Vince Carter's still playing, and he's 43. VC's still in the NBA. So, they were going to announce at All-Star Weekend that he was nominated. They're not even gonna. It's not even going up for a vote. He's going straight into the Hall of Fame. They've already decided he's going into the Hall of Fame. So
he's been there,
Yeah. Well, he was getting nominated, and they were going to vote. He's a shoo-in for first ballot Hall of Famer. We knew it. So this was his first year of eligibility. Finally, a lot. Being a dad.
Yeah.
Being a dad. That's what
he automatically get in the Hall of Fame. That's
right. Yeah, but he was being a dad on his way to do something with his daughter, with colleagues, other parents. One daughter lost her sister and her parents. Her husband's lost his wife. 3 kids lost their mother.
Yeah.
Another mother-daughter died.
Yeah.
And a pilot who has a family. It's devastating. And remember, we only thought there was like only 4 people, and then that news came out.
Yeah, well, 4.
It was 9, and you were like, oh, that even when the sheriff confirmed it was 9, my heart just sank. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
And I understand people. Yeah. When you have somebody like Kobe Bryant who's larger than life, Phil, how I feel about Kobe, even though I'm a Knicks fan.
Of course.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it real today as far as the sport and the person. We separate the two.
But you know how I feel about Kobe, even though he used to tear us up.
Yeah, exactly.
He was setting records in the garden. We like, Spice, don't tell Kobe nothing. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Kobe come to the garden. You're like, you're getting a show. Yeah.
Yeah, man. He he also texted. I was reading when he also texted LeBron James congratulating on beating his record.
Right.
On the
25th.
And I see that that was on the 25th. That was like one of his
24th for the 25th. That was his last tweet.
Yeah. Last tweet, yeah.
And then he texts Shaq's son to just check on him randomly right before he died.
Yeah.
And so he texts Sharif because he occasionally did that.
Well, a lot of people, I'm sure they know that Kobe was at the game where LeBron passed him, and that was a road game. That was in Philly.
Yeah.
Philly.
He told LeBron, "I'll see you back in LA," and then this, that happens, and LeBron had just got off the plane
and found out, and there's video footage of him and just sobbing.
Yeah. What hits me the most is his daughter. Like it's bad enough that it was him, but what hits me the most is his daughter. So let's read off the name, Cinema.
And if I mispronounce the name, please forgive me. I'm just, for our listeners.
Right.
I'm gonna read in the order of the list, and of course, Kobe and his daughter on the top of the list.
Right.
But everyone on this list is important. Kobe Bryant, Gianna Bryant, John Altobelli, Kerry Altobelli, Alyssa Altobelli, Christina Malza, Sarah Chester, Peyton Chester, and Arazomian. And Peyton was Gianna's friend. And also a great basketball player in her own right. There's footage of them. One of my friends from LA, you know, my mother's pastor's in LA, you guys know. And so one of the members of the church, a close friend of mine, was posting video and stuff, a lot of things, you know. It really hit the LA people hard, you know, because Kobe, the pulse of LA. And also here, I'm in Delaware, right outside of Philly. This area, since this is where Kobe's from, it's hitting this area hard too. It's real, you know, it's palatable. It's really palatable here. And it's like, it slowed everybody down. So, you know, Christina Malza was the assistant coach. And then, you know, the father and mother with their daughter. And Sarah was Peyton's mother and the pilot, and Kobe and Gianna just doing what they normally do, commuting. That's like having a car accident going or coming from work. You're just commuting.
Yeah.
And it's just a freak accident. And it's, when something's a freak accident, you can't always make sense of it because it's an accident, you know? It's something out of the ordinary. And, you know, some reports said that they found Gianna in Kobe's arms. I don't know if they're verified, but ESPN had said that. But I don't know everything. You know how everything's not confirmed.
They found their arms?
They found her inside of Kobe's arms, that Kobe was still holding on to her.
Yeah, he was.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was reports that came out like late yesterday, early today. And so even to the last moments, being a father, you know.
Wow. They found the bodies where Kobe's body's holding on to her body?
Yeah, the Gianna.
Wow.
And so even to the last moments,
because he was trying to, even though a helicopter's crashing, he's trying to see if she could still survive.
Yeah, and, you know.
To the last moment, he was trying to protect his daughter.
Yeah.
And
that's the growth. We've watched Kobe grow up. That's the whole thing. Kobe went in straight from high school. He struggled his first couple of years in the league, and we saw the growth and the maturation. We saw the wins with Shaq, then we saw him become the leader of the Lakers. Then we saw the progression. And then he was in his second act, and we saw the progression.
Yeah.
Yeah, he became father because, you know, basketball took him a lot of time from his family, the way he trained. So when he retired, he already had made plans for retiring, for being a father, for, you know, businesses and stuff. He was going at it as tenacious as he did basketball. And I've always had respect for Kobe.
Yes.
I've always had respect for Kobe. You know, it's like that person's not on your team, but yeah, I'm still a fan, you know, but you come play my Knicks, I'm a Knicks fan. You know, that's how it is. That's just how it is. But you know, I've made compilations and videos of Kobe over the years and stuff like that. I've admired him.
Man, I remember when he was rhyming too. I remember when he was he was featured on a song back in the day. I forgot the name of the song.
Yeah, they're playing the video. Then Shaq released a song that wasn't released with him and Kobe that they did on his Instagram.
He released a song that they did together, a collaboration.
Yeah.
It was.
I gotta see that.
it was on a compilation from DJ. It was a DJ Clark Kent.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I gotta see that. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I gotta see that.
No, it's on Shaq's Instagram.
Oh, Shaq's Instagram. Okay.
Yeah. So
I gotta see that. Yeah, man.
And the outpouring, and you know, you see the outpouring, and you hear the stories of how people met him. This is a dude whose character, he didn't do stuff for the limelight. You realize it. Even though he had the limelight, He did a lot of things away from the limelight that really mattered. You know, the stuff that really mattered. He got it. Even though he was Kobe, he was, you know, limelight Kobe, but away from the limelight, story after story, things he did for communities. It's like even his friends that played basketball with him in high school talked about how we still talk to Kobe and we were still friends to this day. I mean, it's just, you know, you see a person from afar, but then, you know, you find out what a person's character really is, you know, when, you know, and it's like, you know, people aren't perfect, but it's like story after story, account after account, person after person, so many lives when you touch, it's like the impact of him was so big. You felt the vacuum in the whole world. The whole world was affected by this, not just our country. There's tributes around the world.
Yes.
You know, and it's bigger than basketball. And, you know, he was preparing to do for the women's game. You know, Nancy Lieberman was talking about things. He said Kobe would always be checking up on me, you know, and it's amazing, and it's such a big loss that we haven't even realized it yet because we don't know what was in the works. We didn't know what was coming, you know?
Right. No, we didn't, man.
Right.
Yeah, man. You see, I look at it this way. You see how I believe, and I look at it this way. You know how Muhammad Ali was bigger than boxing?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kobe Bryant was bigger than basketball.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Because what he did
off the court,
as far as off the court, was and then he also left a legacy, not only a legacy for his family, but a legacy for a community.
Right.
It's Mamba League. He left and then he also went into it. Also created the animation series that won him a Grammy.
Oscar.
So it's a lot the man accomplished in a short period of time in his life. But it's just to see that he had a personality, because everywhere people go, he's impacted somebody. Everywhere people go, he's like, people liked him. He was a likable kind of dude. People see him and they like him right off the back right away. They're like, Kobe. It's just something that you would just, people that don't even, like I said before earlier, people that don't even watch the NBA know who Kobe is.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just like that. You know, and some of these iconic figures, like, and I will put I will put Kobe in there as an iconic figure.
Yeah.
It's one of the iconic figures in the symbol of the NBA. It's one of the symbols of the NBA, All-Star. The way how he played, it's like he makes you want to watch him. When he played on the Lakers, he made you want to watch him. Every time the Lakers played, you make him want to watch him play with the Lakers. Right. So it's like so when you hear when he retired, okay, and he deserved it. He played with injuries. Remember, he used to play with some serious Achilles. Yeah. He played with some serious injuries.
He won a championship with a broken finger.
Crazy.
The dude's finger broke, and he learned how to shoot with the broken finger and won a championship.
Wow.
And then got the surgery after the championship for his finger.
Well, he came from a very good draft class. I mean, just to name a few. Class of 96, Allen Iverson, Marcus Camby, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Stephon Marbury, Ray Allen, Antoine Walker, Kerry Kittles. Kobe was the third pick. Peja Stojakovic, Steve Nash, Jermaine O'Neal, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and an underrated pick, John Wallace, For all my Knicks fans out there.
Yeah.
Derek Fisher,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
oh yeah,
he was in good company, man. Good company. And you know,
definitely.
I was touched by what Brian Shaw said. Brian Shaw was on NBA TV at the time of his death.
90s.
And he said that, you know, they were supposed to, his whole thing that he imagined was they were supposed to grow old together, tell their stories to their grandkids about basketball. And he was touched. He was crying. He really couldn't keep it together. But, you know, we happened to have a former teammate of his on the air when that happened. And, you know, when they talked to Doc Rivers could barely even get a word out. I mean, he was trying. And I think what made it worse is that, you know, we have parents and kids that died on that airplane crash. Now, I know some people are going to say, yo, man, how come y'all don't make a big deal about this, that, and the third? Now's not the time. I mean, obviously, Kobe is a big public figure, so of course, he's going to be talked about, you know?
Yeah.
He will be, yeah.
Yeah.
He will be.
So,
you know,
and one more thing. Oh, you could go ahead, Zaccheus.
Yeah, you know, there's some people in this world that they always have something negative to bring up and say.
Yeah.
Because I remember, it's an over conversation. Wife, she sat down and told me that some people on her where she worked, some folks where she worked brought up, oh, remember when Kobe cheated on his wife? And I said, this is not the moment in time to bring that up. This is not the time. I mean, there's certain things that certain folks like to bring up, and to certain negative things like to bring up, and they play with it and they speak on it. And I said it's very distasteful to me. And then I said, okay. And I know the kind of folks that will bring it up anyway. Me and you, and Cinema, you know that, and Fifth, you know that too. We all three was grown men. We know who the type of people that brought it up. We know that already. But it's just that when it comes to our folks, they always reflect on the negative. Yeah,
because they want to take away the legacy. But, you know, they don't want to talk about Elvis marrying a 14-year-old. But
yeah. Oh, they want to say, oh, great, he played. Oh yeah, he sung great.
But the whole thing is, everybody makes mistakes. What if I put all your mess ups in a tabloid?
Hey, hello.
We've all made mistakes somewhere in life.
Exactly.
And the whole thing is growth and to overcome it and become a better person. And in the end, the end product of what he went through became better than what he was in the past. And remember, when they come into the NBA, they're kids. They are still young. You know, you become a millionaire at 19, 20-something years old. You haven't had enough life experience yet to understand what that is.
Yeah, remember. You're right, because remember, Kobe got married very young.
Yeah, and so
Kobe got married extremely young.
So he had, he had to learn. He had to learn. Everybody has to learn. We all learn. We become wiser with experience. And so it's easy to say something. Well, it's like somebody going back in 5th grade. You did yada yada. Yeah, that's 5th grade, dude.
Exactly.
That's 20 something years ago. Yeah, I was like that. And
man.
It's totally absurd and it's foolish, and especially when a person's not here to defend themselves. It's classless and cowardly.
It is cowardly. Yeah, when I'm 18 years old, I'm 18 to 30. I'm different from at age 30 compared to when I was 18 years old.
Right. You're different at 25. Way different.
Exactly. So I mean,
it's called life.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is, while if you were growing up and we had social media or we had the press following you, what would we have seen?
Right.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
Quick story. I'm not gonna mention the preacher, but they tried to put a preacher in there. Did you send something? And they tried to like have him dog another preacher, and he turned around, looked at the reporter. What did you do? Did you sin today? So and it's live.
Right.
Let's go to commercial.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, see, let me just say this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Black folks need to always stay on code when one of ours pass, because I'm gonna get to where I'm saying with that. They already smearing him, bringing up a rape case where, first of all, we all know that testimony was bogus. All of that got thrown out the window because we know what happened. Well, just based off the confession, exactly. And I was gonna say, based off of all of that, but people still like to drive that home because they want you to remember him in a different light.
Oh yeah.
But what I'm saying is, for those who do know, we have to always make sure that we protect that part of that person, and because white supremacy does a great job of protecting their own when they're alive and after they're dead. Because you just said what you said about Elvis.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, to them, don't you dare say nothing about Elvis. What? They'll talk about James Brown till the cows come home, but don't you dare talk about Elvis.
Dare mention their Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, big no.
All hell breaks loose when you talk about Elvis. You know, so and you see how it is, because you see how they've done with Michael Jackson, Prince, everybody that you could think of. You know what I'm saying?
Whitney,
right?
Whitney, yeah,
right.
I'll just say this: that documentary shouldn't have been made, and if it was, a lot of that stuff shouldn't have been in it.
Whitney did have a drug problem, though, but at the same time,
I'm saying the other stuff that I couldn't even finish.
Right.
That documentary, I've never watched it to the end to this day.
Yeah.
Right. See,
I'm like, some things when she's not here to defend herself, you don't have business putting that out. Yeah. If she was here,
exactly.
And they've been throwing subtle shots at Aaliyah by going at R. Kelly, and she's not here to defend herself.
She's not here to defend herself. Yeah. Exactly.
And it's years past.
Yeah.
And her marriage is annulled. It never existed. So leave her alone.
Leave it alone. Yeah.
Leave her out. You got enough for him for everything he's recently done. Leave her out of it.
Exactly.
Let us remember Aaliyah, how she was. She wasn't even with him when she died. She was with Dame Dash. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of, when you talk about the tragedy, one thing I was reading about the tragedy that happened to Kobe, happened to the people,
to the family,
along with Kobe,
the families,
yeah. Well, I heard it was very foggy up there. I heard the fog was so thick that you couldn't even see. The fog was so thick that the weather and the fog was so thick that they couldn't even see. They were blinded by the pilot was blinded by the fog. So I was like, man, maybe they could have postponed the flight because
I mean, a lot could have happened. The helicopter doesn't have a black box, and some helicopters do. That particular helicopter did not have a black box. And this is a pilot who has flown Kobe before. So it's not like this is the first time this was a pilot for the first time flying a helicopter with Kobe inside. So it's just one of those things where, it's just a freak accident,
Yeah, a freak accident. That's what it comes down to.
You know that his wife Vanessa said that him and Kobe would not fly together. They made a promise to each other that they will not take a flight together. One will stay back home and the other one will take a flight. Now I just looked at that and I said, wow. So they never even took a flight together. And there was a animation that was made of 3 years ago. This is what I read. There was an animation by a source from Caribbean Fever Eyes. There was an animation 3 years ago that was made of Kobe crashing on a helicopter. But when the helicopter crashed, he came
that footage.
He came out the helicopter with trophy with his rings, his 5 championship rings.
Yes, it was a very odd skit, you know, and we talk about art imitating life and life imitating art, and they were saying, why would they choose, you know, because Kobe had a rep of using a helicopter to go to his games, every home game. So that would explain the helicopter, but why you gotta? It's not funny when the person actually dies from the art that was made.
Yeah, why would they bring that up now?
Well, they're bringing it up now because they're trying to say, well, you know, let's you know, the news is news, but let's be mindful who's telling us the news and to always keep our mind open to a possible conspiracy. Let me tell you something. I'm not a conspiracy theorist about everything, but I do believe conspiracy theories can exist in everything. Okay? So that's why that's being brought up. It's not being brought up for laughter because ain't nothing funny. Now, you know there's some idiots out there that's going to laugh at that. You know, people out there who hate Kobe's guts. And I'm not just talking about as a basketball player. I'm saying the ones that still think that he raped that girl. Those people. I mean, as a matter of fact, there were, you know how you could put your emotion emoji on a Facebook post? When CNN posted the article of Kobe dying, there were so many people using the laughing emoji. You know, they think it's funny.
Wow.
Right. Don't forget what country you in.
Exactly.
Hey, hello.
Exactly.
Hello. We all know what time. We all know what time it is now.
Exactly. And, you know, he died doing what he loved. He was with his... Man, I really wish his daughter was... Okay. This is what really hurts. This young, beautiful girl was daddy's little girl, man. Daddy's little girl. And she wanted to be just like her dad. There was a particular bond that Kobe and Gianna had.
Yeah.
Because the very thing that Kobe was passionate about was the same thing that she was passionate about.
Yeah.
And that bond was going to last forever.
Yeah.
The idea is for you to never bury your kids. It's for your kids to bury you.
Right.
Yeah.
Vanessa has to grieve not only her husband, but her daughter. And her sisters. And her sisters. The mother has to explain to her daughters why her father and her sister is not coming home. Vanessa had to identify the bodies. When the news broke and it got to his oldest daughter, she had an asthma attack.
Yes.
And was in the hospital all night. So Vanessa still has to be mom. And be strong for her daughters.
She had an asthma attack. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just too much. That's too much to digest.
Right.
That's just too much.
Jeez. Oh gosh, yeah. We can't even imagine what those families are going through.
Right. One of the girls lost her mom and dad and sister. And she's the only one left.
She's the only one left.
It's a little girl.
That's the what's their last name? The Antebelli?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Mazer, he lost his wife, and they have 3 small children, and he's on the Today Show.
Jeez.
Like,
right,
I
he
have
talked
to
about
figure
that,
out how to navigate without their mom. And then he said I had to tell them, and they screamed, and I just held them and had to let them scream.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like when you're hearing the story, it's like for us, we're gonna move on. But this is the person
they're gonna relive this.
Life.
They're gonna relive this every day.
And anyone who's grieved anybody, and I know a lot of, grief is a process, and you never really get over it.
Yeah.
Completely, because that void's always there. But it's no joke when losing a parent when you're young. It's like I don't even want to mention names of celebrities, but it's like there's a singer who has the talent of their parent,
right, but
they've never experienced their parent. Because their parent died when they were so young, they can't even remember. Right. And you see that a lot, it's no joke, because the only thing you're going to know about your parent is what other people tell you. You've never, and if you're so young, there's a certain age where you start remembering things. If they're so young, they're not even going to have a memory of their parent.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I remember when.
And remember, Vanessa just had a baby.
Yeah, 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, the baby's only 7 months.
She's not even gonna remember her sister and her father. That's
and your heart goes out.
Tell her,
because that's the real long term.
Yeah.
And so if you want to kick up garbage and stuff while people are grieving, you're classless, because this is real. Because these people have to live this. After everybody's gone and no one's doing podcasts about this no more, these people have a life to continue.
They do.
And please be sensitive.
But I want to say something for all you people out there who want to buy Kobe jerseys. I don't know what's going to happen with the proceeds, because anything that we buy, it's the same thing happened with Nipsey, but I'll tell you the difference with Nipsey. We knew Nipsey owned a Marathon store and Marathon clothing, so the proceeds did go to his family. We just hope that the proceeds go to the Bryant family. I don't know what kind of deal he worked out before he died. I don't know. But I want people to be very careful. There are people that are going to be coming up with Kobe stuff all the time, and that money is going to be going towards them, not going towards the family.
Yeah, see?
And I know some people will say, yo, well, did you buy it when he was alive?
Yeah,
Let's not think about that, because who's here is the family. Kobe's gone. Right. And respectfully, Gianna's gone. So it's all about the family that is still here.
Yeah.
And I know Kobe's friends already said that they're gonna make sure that their family is taken care of. Even though Kobe took care of that family, he did. Yeah. But they're gonna look out for them. You know, they're gonna look out for them kids. They're gonna look out for for Kobe's wife. Yeah. Because they need support, and the families who all passed, they need support. Everybody needs support. The remaining people that have to grieve their families, they all need support. So if you're going to support them, please support them directly.
Yeah.
And then Kobe and Vanessa have foundations they have for helping the kids of LA and things of that nature. Look into those things as well.
Right. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
If you look up Jimmy Kimmel on anything, Jimmy Kimmel gave the information for that last night.
Good.
Because they didn't have an episode. He just did Kobe clips with no audience. He couldn't do a show.
No.
Okay, so he gave the information for their foundation, and a lot of things that help continue the legacy and do things to help the families. That's what you want to do. Yeah, just like Fifth saying.
Yeah,
and you know, in my conclusion, I say, Kobe life has inspired a lot of young people as far as like motivating to do greater things with their life, motivate you to to reach your higher heights. And don't limit yourself, but continue to carry on. You know, and he did that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his legacy. That's his legacy. You know, it's like it don't stop. It continues.
Mamba mentality.
Mamba mentality.
Cinema, any last words? We're gonna wrap up the show.
My condolences to everyone, the family. I'll be praying for the families most definitely on the daily. It's a lot because you'll have this time where they're surrounded, but then there's the time after the funeral where it gets real because that's when life goes on and you're grieving and it's a lot. It's just so much. You know, people losing children, people losing their spouses, people losing whole families, and it's just you. It's like what you know. God, I can't imagine. It's no joke. Also acknowledging Kobe's legacy. Much respect to everything that man accomplished, even still touching his high school over here at Lower Marion and through a lot, you know, things you didn't know he was doing. It all comes out. It all comes out now because, you know, that's a real person of character. No matter where he came from, the person now, you know, the person he became, you know, such a person of character. Well, people said he was always like that. Like he wrote when they lost the championship and it was the seniors' year, he wrote his classmate a letter apologizing. I should have took over the game sooner. I could have did more. And then the year later when they won the championship, the night before, he called all the seniors personally the night before and said, "This is for you," dedicated to them, and went out and busted the other team.
Yeah.
It's, you're just hearing, he's always been like this, really. And, you know, people just try to taint your character as you're even growing to become even greater than, you know? And so much respect. Mamba mentality for life. Straight up.
Yeah. To the family, we send our prayers to you.
Yes.
And to all the families, the Bryant family, the Antebelli family, the Mauser family, Ari's family, the pilot, and you know, I want Peyton, all the families. I'm forgetting names, but I want to say God bless to the families, and we love you.
Just the family. Peyton's family.
Yes.
So we're gonna get on out of here. Hey, Cinema, where can they reach you, man?
You can reach me on Instagram at Cinemascapes Music and Cinemascapes, on Twitter at Cinemascapes, on Facebook at Cinemascapes Music.
Zaccheus, where can they reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram. Zaccheus, Zaccheus, Zaccheus B73 on Instagram. Also on Facebook, Wayne Zaccheus Bacchus on Facebook. Also on Twitter, at Wayne Bacchus 2 on Twitter. Bless.
All right. You can reach me at the Fifth General on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All right, signing off with our brother Cinemascapes on today's episode of Mrs. Ian Fifth. The Fifth General, Zach here, signing off. And we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.